Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, JNMIL taking baby out of my sight. JNMIL wants to take my kids to the pool without us. FMMIL had a stroke. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. JNMIL taking baby out of my sight. My JNMIL is very vampiric for my new baby and openly passive-aggressive toward me. It's the first grand baby. When they visited after the birth, the main behavior that bugged me was as soon as I would get there to visit with the baby, she would take it and go as far away from me as possible for the duration of the visit. It creeped me out and seemed quite deliberate. I don't know if I'm overreacting, but my instinct is to keep my baby at least in the same room as me. Is that reasonable? We are going to visit them soon and staying in a hotel to keep distance, but I'm not sure how to say my baby stays with me politely. And when she does take the baby after I asked her not to, what do I say? I also anticipate her wanting to schedule visits with the baby and her friends, but not going through me for it. Is it okay to say I coordinate my baby's visits and have her friends just contact me to meet up? I've met them before, but I don't know if this is weird, but I don't like her excluding me from plans involving my baby. Buy yourself a baby carrier. Or make something alike from shawls. Baby attached to your body and stays there. Don't worry about other people's opinions. It's your baby, and you are commander-in-chief. I find it weird to take away the baby from a fresh mother. Why do you need to say it politely? It's your child that you created, spent 9 months nourishing and building. Just because she gave birth to the person that helped create them, doesn't mean she has a claim on them, and definitely shouldn't do anything that makes you uncomfortable. I'd tell her straight, this behavior makes me uncomfortable, and if you continue to make me uncomfortable, we will put you on timeout. My baby stays with me. As I've told you, my baby stays with me. My baby is not a toy to be shared. If I have to say this again, we're leaving. Why do her friends need access to your child? Everything you described is weird. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Do you have a partner/other parent around to help deal with her? Lots to be said about the usefulness of baby wearing. I had to be blunt with Aunt when she did the same thing. When she protested about not getting alone time with my baby, I asked in a stern tone, why exactly would you need alone time with an infant that can't communicate yet? What are you intending to do that you don't want me present to see? She never pushed the issue again. I'm going to steal this line. It's perfect. Perfect response. You need to set clear boundaries right now, or GMA will walk all over you for the rest of this kid's life. You need to establish that if she does not abide by your wishes, she gets no visitation. If she goes against your rules, no contact. What you do now will dictate the next 18 years of her actions. Mael, what are you doing? Why are you taking my baby away from me? No, I don't think so. Baby stays with me. Why, you ask? Because I said so. End of conversation. You're a mom now. If someone takes your kid and you're not giving them permission, the last thing you need to worry about it being polite and sparing feelings. That feeling you get when she runs off with the baby is important. It's your gut instinct kicking in, wanting to protect your baby, so don't ignore it. No one gets to see the baby unless you decide it. If you say no to her and she still tries, then just don't go to the house if she can't respect you and your baby's boundaries. What does your partner do? Because they need a role in this. JNMIL wants to take my kids to the pool without us. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. My MIL is typical of a JN. My husband, 33M, and L's, 33F, 11-year wedding anniversary is this weekend. The in-laws are taking our kids for the night so we can go to dinner and stay at a hotel. I have 3 boys, 6 years old twins and a 3 years old. Our 3 years old is a runner, just want to note that. My in-laws are both morbidly obese, and MIL walks with 2 canes. She refuses a walker because that's for old people. We are okay with them watching the boys in the comfort of their own home. It is pretty small, and one level. Our MIL told my husband on Saturday they wanted to take our kids to his sister's house to swim in their pool, which is 9 feet deep at one end. My husband told her he wasn't too comfortable with that, but he would get back to her. He ran it by me, and I say no. Our 3-year-old is impulsive, and will dart or run away from us. There is no way they will physically be able to chase him if he takes off. He told her no, and she couldn't just accept that answer. She pushed and said she would only let them in the shallow end, and if they weren't in the shallow end, they would have life jackets on. She told him she was insulted that we didn't trust them, and that he was insulting his sister as well. He told her that if it was going to be this big of a deal, we can have someone else take them. A good friend of mine with kids the same age is willing. She backed down after he threatened not to let her have them, and dropped it. He called his sister after his conversation with his mom to get ahead of her hearing the twisted version from MIL. His sister was understanding, because she knows how MIL is, and said she has our back. I wish it could have been no mom, we're not comfortable with that, and her saying okay son. Maybe we can all go together one day, but it always has to turn into a thing. Just exhausting feeling like she is always trying to undermine us. She's going to do it anyway. I'd most def have the boys stay with your other friend this time. It's too bad if MIL gets her feelings hurt. She's the one who didn't respect the first no. I don't allow my child to the swimming pool with anybody except my son and myself. Swimming pools are very, very dangerous. In general, in any water body. I know several children who almost died. None of them were with the parents, but with relatives. No one watches your babies the way you do. It's good that Asiel is on your side because she will take them over there. Hopefully, Asiel turns them right around. I'd also expected don't tell mommy and daddy what we are doing aimed at your kids, which is unacceptable behavior and warrants a long time out if it happens. Your twins will hopefully tell you anyway. TBH, I wouldn't leave the kids with her. Even if sister is backing you, she has a pool there and your MIL was adamant she'd do it till your DH said he'd get someone else to look after them. I've seen one too many posts where a MIL didn't watch a grandkid and have experienced loss in my family where a child wasn't watched around water. Your SIL has a pool and your MIL doesn't care and will no doubt try to do it anyway to prove a point. Please don't let her watch your child. TW child loss. My aunt took my 2-year-old cousin to her in-laws' house where there were a number of people there. Someone left a bucket full of water out and no one was watching my cousin. It was my uncle that found him and it was too late. She assumed he was being watched. To this day I don't F*** about when it comes to water safety. If someone said they'd take my kids to the pool and were defensive when I said no, I'd never let them take my kids alone again till my kids were capable and independent enough. She's gonna do it anyway, and when she does it, go no contact. Your MIL would only put the kids in life jackets if they went beyond the shallow end of the pool. What kind of logic is that? As if the kids couldn't drown in the shallow end. I'm glad your SAL is on board with the MIL sitch, and I agree with other posters who have said she'll take them over there anyway when she gets a chance. I'd ask your SAL to phone you to see if you have any idea that they're there. I would not trust your MIL at all. If you sort by top articles of all time in this sub, the first or second story is about a MIL that let her grandson drown in a lake by being careless. She went to jail for it, then wanted access to her other grandchild once she got out. Good for you and hubby for having shiny spines. My MIL almost let my toddler drown once. She vowed that when the kid would be in the pool she'd be right there with her 100%, then sat by the side reading magazines. She saw nothing wrong with the kid almost drowning. Our daughter, age 38, is still scared of water. It's a horrifying story, but you two should definitely read it. Hopefully you trust sister enough to put her foot down when Mail tries to bring them over anyways. FMMIL had a stroke. My JNMIL has 3 kids, BAL, SAL, and MISO, who was the golden child growing up. All of MIL's children are no contact with her, along with most of her grandkids, but my SO's ex and BIL's ex allow her contact with their kids on their time. We haven't spoken to MIL in over 3 years and never will again, no matter what, after she tried to take custody of our kids and played psychological warfare with my SD. Anyway, this morning all 3 of the siblings got handwritten letters in the mail from a lady called Sally, who no one has heard of, but from her letter, she is a FM. The letters were saying how sorry she was to hear of MIL's stroke, that she had been to visit MIL in hospital, and how she hopes MIL doesn't pass from some blood she has on the brain. SIL called me panicking, wondering what to do. I calmed her down and said, first we need to establish what's going on. To me, this sounded like typical MIL behavior. She was forever writing letters to her kids about everything they did wrong and always pulled the "I'm so sick, give me attention" play. SAL, MIL's next of kin, called the hospitals to confirm she was a patient, and lo and behold, MIL is not in hospital and has not been in hospital recently. I don't know what this lady's play is. Obviously she was trying to guilt us into seeing her, but she knows we could easily find out it's not true, so why? One good thing did come of this. I told everyone that no matter if she was dying now or not, she will die one day, and everyone should think about what they want to do in that situation, so no one feels rushed into making a decision on breaking NC in a panicky moment. So, our kids, BIL and I, have decided we will not see her even if she is sick or dying. Both ours and BIL's kid she has tried to take away from us, and that's something we can't forgive. SAL doesn't want her kids near MIL again, but is going to think long and hard about if she would see MIL once before she passes. My life has been so much less stressful without JNMIL and JNM. I'd lay odds that the letter is bogus, as you already suspect. Here's why I think that's true. Imagine, hypothetically, that the whole situation were real, and you were Sally. Your friend, Mael, had a stroke, and you visited her in hospital, and wanted to express your condolences to your friend's children, whom you had never met. You would need to get the names and addresses of the children, which you would get from Mael, or someone else who has that info. That someone should have contacted MIL's children, especially the next of kin Sael, directly, if the hospital had not already done so. That conversation would reveal, at minimum, that MIL's children had not visited. What would you do? You would explain who you are, say some reassuring things about MIL's condition, and at minimum name the hospital. If MIL's condition were dire, you would call rather than write, and exhort people to visit MIL at ABC Hospital ASAP. However, the letter does not name the hospital, does not contain meaningful info about who Sally is, or anything sensible. Just the information needed to create fear and panic, nothing that is useful or that can be verified. It has all the hallmarks of a scam. A MIL-shaped scam. Obviously she was trying to guilt us into seeing her, but she knows we could easily find out it's not true, so why? Oh no, honey. If there is one thing JustNoMil do is they insult your intelligence. No one could possibly be smarter than them. I bet she 100% believes she was gonna rope y'all in. That you won't actually check for facts. And boy, what a wonderful result. Foiled. Ha ha ha, suck it, MIL. It's hard to know with MIL, because when I think how see-through her ploy is, she'll do something that makes me realize I can never understand her rationale or motives, because nothing she does is logical. I think this post could be flared as success, given the final outcome. Nobody jumped to MIL's call, and it got everybody thinking about how to handle an eventuality. Well done. Thanks, I've changed it. I was struggling with what to flare it to. I'm really proud of my Sael as she struggles with anxiety, and this would usually send her running to check on Mael, but she held strong. I know it doesn't seem funny right now, but it's pretty laughable. She pretended to be a concerned friend because she's driven away any real people who would have cared. Christmas cancer strikes again. It happens all the time. With these MILs, they get no response from their NC victims, so they think that their imminent death will provide the appropriate guilt factor to get you to come on bended knee to supplicate yourself at the altar of her matriarchy and beg forgiveness for all your sins against her/s. The name derives from illness being used around the holidays to manipulate you into attending to her on the day she wants, no matter what plans you have already made or if you are NC. They have a thing about being the most important person during holidays and are insulted when you don't comply to their demands. Just another tactic from the MIL playbook. You did the right thing by confirming that it was a lie. Even if it were true, an A*** hole is still an A** hole even if they are at death's door. You said you don't know what this lady's play is. It's simply a narc lying through their teeth hoping you have the human decency she is banking on to believe the lies that come out of their mouth. A narc never thinks their version of events should ever be questioned, and they will scorch the earth on you if you call them out on their lie. I'm glad you kept a cool enough head to help SAL get the real information from the hospital. It was a team effort and it worked out beautifully. If SIL is okay, then she would have been called by hospital staff. Wow. That's some really sick shit. Too bad, so sad, Mael, you've made some grievous errors in judgment that have now come home to roost. Enjoy your resulting loneliness. And for Opie and the siblings, I'm terribly sorry that you've had to deal with such a horrible excuse for a grandmother. All of you deserve better. Best wishes and many blessings. She is finally seeing the consequences. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.